Hi, everybody. Welcome to IDM week 12. This will be our last live and, well, live virtual meeting. It is being recorded, just so you know, because we have testing tomorrow. So Leah will not be teaching tomorrow's 8 o'clock class. All right, let's dive in. Problematic eating or addiction is the loss of control over our eating behaviors. It's especially true when it comes to highly palatable foods. Feels like you want to stop, but you can't. It leads to feelings of shame and guilt. Must eat large amounts of food to feel satisfied. And it increases as your brain adjusts to the chemical responses and it needs more. So, with problematic eating or addiction, your mind listens to what you say and uses these messages to determine what it can achieve or should do to meet your needs. So, telling yourself that you have no control over your behavior can actually backfire and tell your brain not to even work on managing it. So, with problematic eating or addiction, the goal should be resolving any hormonal imbalances, if that is the issue, or adjusting medications when possible. There are definitely certain medications that will make you hungrier than others. Seeking mental health support if it's something that involves emotional eating, those can help alleviate some of the driving forces of addictive behaviors to our food. Another thing you can do is set up food rules. So, identify what foods or eating behaviors derail you is key to lasting success in changing your behavior. For example, if you struggle with snacking through the day and evening, you might benefit from a food rule like I only eat when planned, I plate my food, and I eat a complete meal. So, this is a concept called plating that the fasting method has. And I personally really like this idea of only eating from a plate when you sit down and ensure it's a full meal to avoid eating as you're cooking or eating from like your children's plates, particularly. Well, I have a 1 and 3-year-old, so they are not eating everything off their plate. So it's easy to want to finish their plates for them. I know people that probably cook different meals for their children versus themselves, or different meals for their other family members, and then grabbing a bite here and there. The main focus should be stick to what's on your plate and only eat once you've sat down to have a meal. So, not eating in the pantry, not eating at the refrigerator, not eating from your desk, drawers, or in your car, but everything being on a plate can help you be more mindful of that. So, any eating behaviors that are derailing you, let us know in the chat box. Any particular foods that are derailing you, you can let us know. I've found that one of the biggest things you can do with changing your behavior is not necessarily trying to stop it altogether. That's probably the hardest way to do it, like cold turkey, but rather replacing the behavior with something else. So, just for example, like the idea of cooking dinner gets my anxiety going. And we've talked about how eating, the act of eating actually calms you down. So before I would even start dinner, I would grab a snack. Um, but now I'll make like a cup of tea or grab a water or a LaCroix or just something to drink, just something to keep my hand and mouth busy. So sometimes replacing that behavior can be easier. And you can do that at night too. Grab something to drink instead. So as we move forward out of the virtual classes and we're going into the next 12 weeks kind of on our own. So you're still going to have the the Zoom meetings that you can join. You can pick your topics, pick your day and time, and join those. But we will be finished with the Teams meetings. So we do need to implement some form of self coaching over the next 12 weeks. And really, the whole reason the program is 24 weeks is so that we can see your progress as we meet live um, versus kind of putting you out on your own for the last 12 weeks to see how you can keep the program going. So, implementing concepts of self coaching are going to be really important for you over these last 12 weeks. Let's go back to the voice inside our head. It's going to analyze our efforts, our outcomes. It's going to convey messages to ourselves about our abilities and our accomplishments. We are constantly talking to ourselves, and this is our internal being, but are we being a good self coach? Because it's from this self coach that we're going to receive feedback that's going to guide our efforts. It's going to motivate us. It's going to help us believe in ourselves and ensure that we can lean on the resources we need to support ourselves. So there are two different kinds of self coaches, and there are probably two different types of internal beings, whether it's a self coach or not. And I want you to start paying attention to whether you're being a critical self coach or an affirming self coach. And it's really important to pick up on how you're talking to yourself. Critical self coach will highlight insecurities. I'll never be able to stop eating late at night, or this is too difficult for me. This is not something that I can achieve. So you are telling yourself what you are believing. An affirming one will instead accept insecurities and help reframe them. So maybe it's not that I can't stop eating late at night, but I'm going to change what I'm doing late at night. So maybe I'm still going for something, but at least it's something that's on the plan. So before I went, like after I put my kids to bed and the day is done, it's a very easy time to like want to grab a snack because the stress of the day is over at that point. It's time to relax. And it was a habit to just go grab something out of the pantry or the fridge. And before I quit cold turkey, like I said, replacing that behavior is really important. So maybe replacing that behavior, if that's what it is, with something that is closer to the plan, like maybe grabbing a slice of cheese or a handful of nuts or yogurt and berries, something that's not going to totally derail you. You're still eating outside of your window, but at least you're eating something that is within the plan, like the type of foods that we're wanting to stick to, right? So accepting things that are hard and reframing them and taking baby steps to overcome them is really a better self coach to be. And then eventually try not eating at all, maybe replacing it, like I said, with a cup of tea or a drink, like a water or something like that, or just go brush your teeth and go to bed. Like there's other steps that you can take when you're ready. But you're your self coach, so you got to know what's going to work for you. Critical self coach will use negative descriptions of efforts and qualities. So back to late night eating. Well, I totally derailed myself. I ate late at night. It's over for the day versus choosing something positive and the way to describe your efforts or qualities like, well, at least I ate something that was on the plan and I'm going to keep working at this. It's going to get easier the more I try. A critical self coach will remind you of failed attempts. So, sticking in your mind over and over and over, I keep messing this up. I keep not hitting this goal. But I want you to remind yourself of success you've made and the progress you've made instead. Look at where I am prior to 12 weeks ago. Like I probably would have grabbed a cold pizza out of the fridge that was my kids or something versus eating something that still works with the foods that I'm supposed to be choosing. So that's awesome. I am making progress. And when I'm ready, I'll take the next step. So critical will tell you that you can't. Affirming will tell you that you can, and explore resources that you need so that you can. So maybe it's adding a little bit more to the end of your dinner so that you're not even hungry an hour or two after dinner. That would be a good resource to explore. Filling up more at dinner, or maybe if there's something specific that you're wanting late at night, just sticking with the same theme, adding that to your dinner instead so that you already have it. So exploring ways around getting to the goal you're working on. Critical coach only gives credit for positive outcomes. So maybe only giving credit when they see the scale move, or only giving credit when the A1C comes down, only giving credit when you have a perfect fasting day. An affirming self coach will find value in the effort and the change. So maybe you did eat after dinner outside of your eating window, but maybe you ate well all day and you hit your fasting times that day and you chose the right types of foods. And that's amazing. So think about how far you've come, and there is effort in every single day. And just because we might mess up one part of it doesn't mean that there wasn't something good about the day. A critical self coach demands perfection, and an affirming one will embrace progress. So it's life, it's a lifestyle. Things are going to be different from day to day. Some days are going to be better than others. Some days might be perfect. Some days might be awful, but that's okay. It's a lifestyle, and you can learn from really great days and you can learn from days that don't go as you planned. But ultimately, you want to think about how you're talking to yourself on a day to day basis. What type of coach are you being to yourself? So, ideally, you want to treat yourself similar to how you would treat someone else. Um, it doesn't have to be someone that you love, it could be the way that you talk to a coworker or a friend or anybody, really, anyone that is needing self compassion. So rather than expecting yourself to ignore how hard it is to change, or chastising yourself with self criticism when you've not succeeded to a point where you feel adequate or you feel like it's good enough, recognizing that life is going to entail struggles and that we're all imperfect. And ultimately, we have to be kind to ourselves, just like I hope most of us try to be kind to others. So making significant changes to how you eat and developing these fasting skills, it requires a lot of practice. It requires a lot of change, a lot of new behaviors, plenty of opportunity for things not going perfectly. And this is where self-compassion is going to come in, and being able to accept yourself with the imperfections is key to a greater sense of inner peace rather than stress, tension, being frustrated with yourself. I mean, I'm sure we all feel that way at times, and it's okay. It's okay to feel that way, but just recognizing that you feel that way and also knowing it's okay. It's fine. It's a lifestyle. We're practicing. It's not perfect. All right, so let's try to come up with some clear food rules. If you have anything in particular that you struggle with, something that's like not a diagnosable addiction, identify what behaviors or foods are challenging for you. And then based on the habits and behaviors you engage in that prevent you from making consistent progress with that particular food. And then maybe you could come up with a food rule that's helpful to help you overcome that. So maybe something that you You can proclaim things that you will never do, will always do, or do only under certain circumstances. So, for example, I will only eat sugar when it's a holiday or my birthday. I will I will always fast until noon if possible. One of my food rules, I have I realized a long time ago that like cheese is so like an addicting food for me, and I could probably have it with every single meal. So one of my food rules is having cheese with only one meal a day. And I don't know why, but it's something that's stuck with me and it works. I don't overeat on cheese, probably like I used to. So if you want to do something like that, or if there's a particular food that doesn't work for the plan that you just can't get away from, we've talked about adding it to your meals. So making sure it's not eaten alone, but it's eaten with other healthy foods. So being flexible and knowing that you'll get there. Food rules help though. And then create your new self coach. Take a few minutes to envision hiring a new self coach. Imagine this coach is someone who is nurturing, knowledgeable, resourceful, able to hold you accountable without any negative or harsh statements. And then imagine a dialogue in which you're supporting a friend or family member because they're struggling with their eating behavior or their fasting efforts. And think about how you would talk to them. And that's really how we want you to talk to yourself as your own self coach. And then celebrate. So we've made a lot of progress in the first 12 weeks. We're halfway through the program. You have testing tomorrow, so I hope you all see great results. It's definitely important to celebrate along the way. If you want to find a way to celebrate at this halfway point, that would be awesome. And it doesn't have to be food related by any means. It could be, buying a new pair of jeans. It could be getting a pedicure. It could be getting a massage, booking a yoga class, going out for a walk, a nature walk alone. Sometimes that's celebration in itself, just being alone in nature, playing around a golf, doing something you love, something you enjoy. So, ooh, the beach. That's a great one. Enjoy the beach. Um, Man, I just got so jealous. Enjoy the beach. Plan a trip. Yeah, that's a great idea to celebrate along the way. And good luck tomorrow on your testing. I'll be sending you a weekly email on Mondays just to remind you to submit your tracker. So you'll still do your tracker each week to us so we can help keep you accountable and reach out if we need to. Make sure to put on that tracker if you need anything from us so we can connect with you. And then attend your weekly Zooms meeting. And again, no more Teams meetings, but we'll be here if you need us. Thanks for joining these first 12 weeks, and y'all keep it going. Let us know if you need anything, and we'll see you soon. Is it possible to get all the handouts used each week so far in one file? I can look into that. I'll see what I can do. Y'all have a great day. Bye, everyone.